With its newly redesigned Super Duty pickup, Ford can brag that it has a high-output diesel that cranks out a thunderous 1,200 pounds-to-foot of torque, towing capability of up to 40,000 pounds, and a clever second set of rear parking sensors that works when the tailgates open. The 2023 Ford F-350 Super Duty pictured here, though, has none of those things. Rather than a full zoot show-off, this $77,215 Lariat 4x4 is sensibly spec'd as a personal work truck or as a daily driver for a hardcore weekend warrior. Equipped with 4-wheel drive, an 8-foot bed, and a 7.3-liter gas V8, it's good for 19,500 pounds of conventional towing and 3,620 pounds of payload. A smattering of smart, practical technology on board helps differentiate the Super Duty from the Chevy and Ram alternatives, but those features don't dominate the window sticker or the driving experience here. In this relatively simple truck, the story ultimately comes down to the fundamentals. How does it drive, and how does it handle hard work? Heavy-duty trucks and diesels go together like dive bars and cheap beer, but there's a reason you might want to stick with the Lariat trim standard 7.3-liter gas V8. Saving $9,995 over the 475 horsepower Power-Stroke diesel or $12,495 over the new, 500 horsepower high-output diesel will leave a whole lot of beer money in your pocket. The gasser makes 430 horsepower, 485 pounds-to-foot of torque, and a glorious roar when you stomp on the throttle. It isn't, however, the fire-breathing monster you might expect from an engine called Godzilla, especially in this particular F-350. Saddled with 7,680 pounds of truck, the gas engine manages 60 miles per hour in a relaxed 7.8 seconds, which is about a half second behind what a lighter Super Duty with this engine will do. It's a difference that you can feel in the real world, as our editors roundly agreed that the engine felt sluggish, almost diesel-like, when the driver asks for more revs. The live axle front suspension used on 4-wheel drive Super Duties is a serious compromise for anyone who drives one of these trucks day after day. Fleet managers will love the durability and serviceability, and hardcore off-roaders will at least appreciate the articulation it offers. Everyone else will endure a busy front end that feels frazzled when the left and right wheels aren't moving in tandem. The stiff springs and dampers are also mismatched in this truck, with smooth-looking concrete highways inducing a constant bobbing and hard hits sending shudders into the cabin that highlight how Ford's aluminum body flexes more than the competition's steel cabs. If you think this is merely the price you have to pay to haul so much weight, a test drive in a Chevy Silverado HD will open your eyes to what's possible. Chevy also has the edge in steering confidence. While both the Silverado HD and Super Duty use recirculating ball steering boxes rather than rack and pinion arrangements, the Ford is plagued by on-center vagueness and a wandering sense of straight. Keeping the F-350 between the lane lines requires more corrections and more attention than it takes in a much wider Silverado 3500 dually. Ford's lane centering assist, which is a unique offering in the segment, at least helps to reduce the driver's workload. The satisfyingly firm brake pedal is a dynamic bright spot with plenty of stroke for dialing in the right amount of pressure. Unfortunately, that doesn't translate into a short stopping distance in an emergency. The F-350 Lariat stretched our 60-mile-per-hour panic stop to 162 feet, a massive 23 feet longer than the aforementioned Chevy Dually. True, that truck has more rubber on its rear axle, but it also weighed almost 1,200 pounds more. Putting the F-350 to work shines a better light on it. A 15,000-pound fifth-wheel camper largely calmed the busy ride and revealed that this single rear-wheel F-350 hauls just as confidently as a dually thanks to the stability of its 175.9-inch wheelbase. The tow/haul mode does a good job reprogramming the 10-speed automatic transmission to hold gears longer and downshift earlier to make the most of the gas V8. You will, however, still have to mind the steering wheel constantly on the highway. Using the F-350 as a tool also reveals how focused the Super Duty team is on its customers. Ford constantly introduces innovative and genuinely useful new features that Chevy and Ram often don't even match by the time they launch a next-generation truck. The $650 onboard scales and Smart Hitch tell you how much weight you're carrying, so you never have to guess if your truck is overloaded. Pro Power Onboard, $985, turns the Super Duty into a rolling 2,000-watt generator with 5 times the power of Chevy's version. Pro Trailer Hitch Assist will back the ball right under a coupler without the driver's input and no need for a spotter spouse. On our truck, this new feature came as part of the $5,075 Lariat Ultimate Package, which is still a bargain considering the cost of a divorce. Even the dumb tech is smartly executed. Ford's tailgate step, which Chevy once made fun of in a commercial before coming up with a worse alternative, remains the simplest solution to a simple problem. The Super Duty's power extending towing mirrors offer more adjustment and better coverage than Chevy's. There's also a new pair of bedside steps, which Chevy admittedly had first, that are great for reaching things at the front of the bed or climbing into the back when a fifth-wheel trailer is connected. Our staff had just one common gripe when it came to doing truck stuff with the F-350. Ford's $1,725 accessory fifth-wheel hitch clatters and clanks as you drive down the road without anything hooked to it. Chevy's version doesn't do that. Ford designers have recycled so many F-Series styling cues for this new Super Duty that it doesn't feel particularly modern from behind the wheel, and it's easy to miss them on the road. For the deeply loyal buyers of heavy-duty pickups, we recognize that familiarity might be a pro rather than a con. Mostly, we wish the interior designers could better mask how much plastic they're using to cover the vast real estate in the cabin. The infotainment screen also looks dated next to the 2024 Silverado HD's wide sweep of screens. We do appreciate, though, that Ford continues to prioritize knobs and buttons to control the audio and climate systems. Chevy has a better driving pickup in its Silverado HD, but whether it's a better all-around vehicle depends on exactly what you need from your workhorse. If you want a truck that makes big jobs easier, the Ford has an edge with its unique tech features. You simply cannot buy a smarter heavy-duty truck than the F-250 and F-350, even when you don't go all in on the electronic wizardry. Our one piece of advice for anyone taking a test drive, and Ford engineers, don't let the technology be a distraction from the driving experience.